I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, I used to play this video game on my computer called Hero Up. It was basically a video game about the show Superhero Squad. It was an MMO game, and for some reason, Daredevil was my main. I don't know what it was about him, but I thought he was cool. It didn't really help that I used to destroy everyone with him too. Now that I'm older, I think he's even cooler. I think when it comes to Marvel characters, he is one of, if not the most interesting character. Even his main villain is cool as hell. With Kingpin, we get some of the most interesting stories that I've ever read. And I think the best representation of this is seen in the comic series Daredevil Born Again. The story starts off with Karen Page, who is Daredevil's girlfriend, being interrogated by a crooked cop. We don't know what happened prior to this, but we do know that the cop is asking for some specific questions. This is Daredevil's real name. Looking for a way out, Karen writes it down on a piece of paper and gives it to the cop. To no one's surprise, this cop works for Kingpin, so the information goes all the way to him. And you might be thinking, if Wilson Fisk knows Daredevil's real name, he can just find him and kill him. But no, Kingpin is smarter than that. Instead, he makes Matt's life a living hell. One day, Matt wakes up from a nap and immediately goes to check his mail. He sees one specific mail that looks strange. This mail is from the bank. The mail says that they haven't received the last 2 months of payments on his mortgage. Plus, his tax files have been audited. That means that all his funds are getting frozen. So the solution to his problems has been completely blocked off. And it doesn't end there. He later gets a message that he has to present himself to the grand jury. When he gets there, the grand jury says that he has a charge of bribing a witness to perjure themselves to help him with a prior case that he had. And because of that, he loses his license to be a lawyer. Like, how much worse can it get? Oh, trust me, it gets way worse. So since Matt doesn't have anything left, he decides that Daredevil is the only thing that he has. So he dons on the costume to look for answers. He goes straight to Nicholas Manolis, the guy who accused him of bribery. He confronts him, but he doesn't hurt him. He just scares him a little. After he's done this, he just leaves, but not far enough because he knows that Manolis is gonna call someone to explain what happened. That is when Daredevil finds out who's behind everything. Kingpin. So Daredevil goes on a rampage, going after small petty thugs asking for answers. What do they know about Matt Murdock? What do they want from him? After this rampage, Matt goes back to his senses and decides that he needs to rest up. He tells himself that the next day he'll confront the man himself. But he doesn't even get to do that because his house blows up in front of him. Like, why is Kingpin so petty? So now Matt is jobless and homeless. Matt is like, nah, fuck this, I'm taking matter into my own hands. So he goes and confronts Kingpin with no suit on like a badass. And before he gets there, Kingpin is in the gym shoulder pressing 4 plates. That is 405 pounds. That is literally impossible. But anyway, I don't know if Matt saw what I saw, so he just goes and fights the man. If I see someone that I have beef with shoulder pressing that much, I'm literally doing a 180 and leaving. And to no one's surprise, Matt gets destroyed. And we see how smart Wilson is, because he can kill Daredevil right then and there. Instead, he thinks and says, if I kill him here, there is going to be enough evidence for me to get locked up. So instead, he elaborates a plan. Later, Matt wakes up in a cab underwater where he is covered in whiskey and the driver is beaten to death with Matt's stick, making it seem like Matt did it himself. Like, man, this guy can't catch a break. Once he gets out of these situations, he's all messed up just wandering around the street. It doesn't really help that it's wintertime too. So he's all wet and freezing cold. That is when he runs up to some thugs wearing a Santa costume that they took from someone who was gathering funds for a charity. And you know Matt, he's not gonna let that slide. So he confronts them. But he's all messed up, so he just gets bodied once more. Not knowing what to do, Matt decides to go back to his dad's place. The only place that he feels safe. When he gets there, the house is demolished. The only place standing is the gym. He gets inside, and when he does, he passes out. When he wakes up, he doesn't know where he is, but one thing he knows is that a nun is taking care of him, because he feels the cross on her neck, plus she has a really welcoming voice, as well as she prays for him all the time. Once he gets better, he goes to visit the only man he can trust, Foggy. But this whole time, Foggy has been taking care of Karen because since she sold out Matt, there have been people looking for her to kill her. And since Foggy is protecting her, there is a target in his back too, so people find them. Not only that, Kingpin has been cooking up a plan to hire a lunatic to don Daredevil's costume to kill Foggy and Karen to further ruin Matt's life. But we all know Matt's a badass, so he stops all of this from happening, coming out on top. But once again, Kingpin is persistent, so he hires a guy called Nuke. This guy is literally in the middle of nowhere fighting a war, and somehow Kingpin convinces him that the real war is in Hell's Kitchen, telling him that the real villain is Daredevil. Mind you, this guy is enhanced like Captain America, so he's trouble. The plan that Kingpin cooks up is literally taking this guy to Hell's Kitchen and just blast everybody to lure Daredevil out. And obviously, it works. Daredevil and him go through an amazing battle. And like the cool character he is, Daredevil once again comes out on top. Like nothing can keep my man down. But the damage to the properties was so much that even the Avengers show up, taking Nuke under their custody. But Cap is skeptical, so he goes to check on Nuke. Kingpin's powers are so strong that he has the ability to take Nuke out of the custody as a free man. But Nuke just goes insane, asking for his medication, and no one can contain him, so he escapes. But Cap is nearby, so he stops him, not before falling into an abandoned building where both of them get injured. Daredevil was close enough to hear all the commotion, so he's headed that way. He gets to the building where Cap and Nuke are at, and instead of grabbing Nuke to take him back to jail, he takes him to Daily Bugle, where he has a trusted journalist who has been helping him on the side. This journalist interrogates Nuke and gets all his information out of him, framing Kingpin with everything that happened, ending all Matt's misery. However, Kingpin is not finished because most of his charges get dropped, and the ones that stick are skillfully cast into years of litigation. But in the eyes of everyone except the law, he is a villain. Ending the story. I really like this story because in most comics, the villain and the superhero just go blow for blow to see who is strongest. In contrast to this story, this is more of a mental game, to see who's smarter. If Kingpin didn't get impatient, who knows what could have happened. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and if you have a story that you might want me to make a video about, please leave it in the comments down below. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.